Hello everyone, I'm Crow77, and today we're looking at a case study from a League game I played, and a couple quick pointers on discard reading. So we're in East 1, and the Oya on the left looks absolutely terrifying. They lucked into flipping a Hatsudora indicator while conning the Chun, meaning their hand is worth at least 12,000 points, and it already has a Yaku. On top of that, they only have one Manzu in their discard, meaning they're pretty likely to be on a Honitsu hand. So the player we're observing here decides to play a little bit safe with their discard and goes for the 7th soul. It doesn't look bad at all. It's Tsuji to the 4 so in the dealer's discard, so they can't be on a 4-7 weight, and with the likely Honitsu on top of that, it seems really unlikely to deal in, right? Well, let's take a look at one aspect of discard reading that comes into play here. One of the most important concepts in discard reading is Tadashi and Sumigiri. They simply refer to where the tile this discarded came from. If a tile's Tadashi, it came from within the discarding player's hand, as opposed to Tsumogiri, which is the tile discarded immediately after being drawn. This is a little easier to see in real life, but with some practice, you can see the difference in online clients as well, as shown here. The makers of online clients realized how important this concept is, so they make sure that there's a way to figure it out if you're attentive. So, the real question is, what can we learn from this? If I were to start going into everything that Tadashi and Sumigiri tells us, this video would be a couple hours long at the absolute least. But for the situation we are in, the most important thing that a Tadashi discard tells us means that the player discarding it has other shapes near it, in most cases. That is, for example, the player discarding a 3-mon might have improved a shape of a 3-5 kanchan into a 5-6, or the hand might have been a shanpon weight that's become a ryanman instead. There are some limitations to this. One is that a shape can slide. That is, a player might have 3, 4, 5 and draw a 6, so they discard the 3, since in a lot of cases the 3 will be safer than the 6. We still need to account for this, instead of just assuming that the tiles near the 3 are the only dangerous tiles left. Additionally, players might have saved tiles specifically because they were safe, instead of to improve their hand. In cases like that, assuming tiles near it are dangerous will get us absolutely nowhere. And of course, anytime you start getting into discard reading, you have players who will intentionally make their discards harder to read, and may even end up trying to trap you. So, with this information in mind, let's take a look at the hand again, with Tadashi and Sumigiri tiles viewable. In online replay clients, generally the grayed out tiles are Sumigiri, and the full color tiles are Tadashi. Looking at Oya's discards, not too much jumps out until we get to the last few. The 5-mon that may have indicated an overflow tile from a Honitsu hand was actually just a Sumigiri tile. However, the 9-so was Tadashi. This is an absolutely huge red flag. If we assume the player has uncompleted shapes near it, that means the player is not on a Honitsu at all, like we originally assumed. The weight could be an 8-9 so that became a 6-8, or a 7-9 that became a 6-7 or 7-7. These are the only really feasible options, unless there's no incomplete shapes near it. Additionally, the 7-9 shape is incredibly unlikely. They would have to be Furiten from the 8th so in their discards. If they were Furiten, they likely would have kept tiles like the 3, 4, and 5 pin to try to improve their weight. So based on that, the 7 so is just about the most dangerous tile we can discard. And sure enough, it deals right into a massive Oya Haneman, and the player we're watching was never able to recover. Now, before you go out and try to track Tadashi and Sumigiri in all your games, let me just say, doing this perfectly is incredibly difficult. Spending more time than you're used to paying attention to other players' discards means you're spending less time looking at your own hand, and will make you more likely to make mistakes, especially in the fast-paced world of online Mahjong. It will likely take quite some time to pick up. One of the best ways to learn, in my opinion, is to start slow. At first, just say out loud or in your head the tile that's discarded and whether it was Tadashi or Sumigiri. This will get you used to noticing it and develop good habits about watching other players' discards. From there, you can take especially close notice to dangerous hands. If someone's hand is really dangerous, you would likely be folding anyway, so you're making less of a sacrifice by paying less attention to your own hand. That way, you can use every bit of knowledge you have to play defensively, instead of missing something like in the example we showed before. Last step is full implementation. This is something I'm still working on myself. As I said before, it takes a long time to learn for most people. Not only do you have to see what tiles are Tadashi and Sumigiri, but you also need to remember that for all other players at the table so you can use that information in the future when it becomes relevant. When you decide to start learning this, good luck. It may be difficult, but it will truly take your Mahjong skill to another level. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any feedback, topic ideas, or issues, please let me know. If you want notifications of when I post a new video, hit the subscribe button. Have a good one.